We're back, another episode of Trash on the Streets. We're winding down here at Moments Fest, and finally was able to snag an interview with the legendary Dayglo Abortions, Mr. Murray the Cretin. Actually, I've listened to the songs. It's pronounced Cretin.
Yeah, it is. That's the way the English pronounce it.
I heard you say it yourself in the song. Yeah. Call me a cretin because I have a little spittle on my lip.
We always heard it anyway from my English man. It's like I got called that. I got kicked out of every school I ever went to, right? But I got kicked out of the public school system in Victoria. And my parents wanted me to keep going to school, so they put me in this fucking boys' school, a rugby school, and that's where I got that nickname from. Is that I was get in the corner, you miserable cretin, you know. And it was like all of our teachers were like rugby players from England and shit. It was the worst place.
Just rock hard.
No, it was more like a lot of rapes going on and stuff like that. These boys' schools, boy, ooh, scary shit.
Spicy.
I was lucky I didn't have to spend the night there, but poor old Bonehead, he was like a little sex toy around that school, I think, almost. I mean, it was not a pleasant place, anyway.
Well, so what drove you to pick up a guitar?
Oh God, when I was a kid, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be. I knew I was going to be a musician. It was all I thought about, really. I remember staying up all night long, just about. I never slept when I was a kid. And I lay there and plot out how I was going to save the world, because I got into the Beatles. This was like in the '60s, eh? So my mom was into the Beatles, and I got into the Beatles and John Lennon shit, and I figured, you can save the world, this, because John Lennon told me, we're bigger than God.
You just need a song.
Stuff like that. When he said they were bigger than God, I knew exactly what he meant, that they had more influence.
Yeah, they were more popular. Nobody was paying attention to Jesus. They were paying attention to the Beatles.
Yeah, so I mean, I sort of figured all along, it was either a toss-up between that or a supervillain. I wanted, to be a supervillain too when I was a kid. I kind of got both of them going on at the same time, almost, in a way there, but I mean, I got my first guitar when I was 7 or something like that, and I thought I could play it. I knew I was going to be able to play it when I got it. It was kind of funny. I was snooping around, found the Christmas presents 2 months early, so I knew I was getting a guitar, and I just fucking had all this fantasies about I was going to and I get the guitar, and it's like not even in tune or anything, so I get it and try it like
this doesn't
twang.
sound...
Ouch, oh, it hurt to play it and shit. I was just fucking disillusioned. I didn't touch it for like 6 months. But that summer I learned how to play on one string because it was out of tune. I didn't know how to tune it. But on one string I figured out the intro to Down on the Corner there. Just the part that goes dun 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 dun. It's only a couple of notes, And I got my friend playing and made some paint can, garbage can drums in the garage. We practiced this fucking shit up. All we could play was the beginning part of it. But all summer long we practiced it. And then we put on I remember we got our parents out there, put on the big rock concert, and it was like, they're like, yeah, and they all turn around and walk away and shit like this. It was like, oh, you're not even going into the song, Going, well, we got this part down pretty good. Like, whoa, harsh crowd. As bad as last night, for Christ's sake. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was maybe I was 12, 13 when I started playing it more seriously. And I got given another acoustic guitar by my cousin. And when I was 16, my dad gave me, and I was 15, I guess, my dad gave me an electric guitar for Christmas. And then it was all over it. And it took a while. My first band was, Bonehead sang in my first band, actually. And we were called Airborne. We were like, I don't know, it's like mid-70s prog rock sort of shit like that. We actually made up a couple of our own songs and shit. And then the Siksika was the first punk band. I was like in 78 or something like that, 78, 79, and then the Dayglo started in 90. And it was just, I was just kind of doing it for the summer. I was in college. I figured, I had, the Siksika had some shows. We played the Smiling Buddha in Vancouver and stuff like that.
Legendary
spot. For the show we got, this would have been about like 79 or something like that. And that was back with Igor,
I actually have a Smiling Buddha back patch.
Oh yeah, nice.
It says Vancouver on it. It's a big round one with like a dragon face on it. I've had it forever.
The guy that at the end of the night we're supposed to get free publicity for a year for this.
Oh, the exposure bucks were even alive back in the fucking 80s.
Dude, Tony Baloney was the guy who was running the fucking show there, and Tony Baloney comes out with a case of, he goes, hey kid, he goes, here's your free fucking publicity for a year, and he hands me this pallet of fucking cans of spray paint. fucking Dayglo brand fluorescent orange spray paint.
Bro, you could have just gave us some money instead of printing the
that's
labels.
cool, you know, maybe $20 to get the ferry home would be nice, you know, so I got that. I spray painted all over the place with the shit. But when I was down to the last can, the Sick Fucks had broken up, but we had a show we were supposed to play. And I'm sitting there with this fucking can, and I thought, okay, I gotta get Bonehead to talk to you, because he was playing drums and stuff. So we got Bonehead and Spud. Spud was the bass player of the Sick Fucks too. I go, look, we got to get this band going because we got this gig that needs to be filled here. And I go, we're going to call ourselves the Dayglo, whatever the most frequently used word on the front page of the paper is today. So we went over to his place and got the paper, and Henry Morgenthaler had been arrested for one of his abortion clinics. And all over the front page was abortion, 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 abortion. And I was like, wow, thank you, God. You know, that it could have been something super lame. In fact, it would have been something super lame if it wasn't for that.
Umbrella.
I can't think of anything else that would be a frequently used word on the front page of the paper, you know.
Morning,
you know?
Maybe.
Some tax thing or something fucking lame like that.
Now,
you know?
I got a question for you about the name. When did you guys drop the W?
Oh, well,
because I still see that pop up.
Okay, you see, well, what happened there was...
I heard it's a poster
well, no, we made the first record, and we made Out of the Womb, and we came up the whole idea for the cover and everything like that, and but the can of Dayglo brand spray paint was long gone by this point, and I just figured out Dayglo, Dlayglow, you know, and we made the record, printed it, and actually, if you look at Fetus, you can see right where the W would be. That he had fixed it on the painting, because it was actually originally on the painting. Yeah. And I found the fucking can of Dayglo spray paint all empty, and I'm like, oh shit, there's no W on it. Fuck. So we took the fucking W off of it, which I thought was kind of funny. And everybody's like, what the fuck? No, I mean, and now it's come up a few times, you know, and I'm like, no, well, it's that neither of them are incorrect, all right?
Well, the way that your fans fucking argue about it, you think that both of them are wrong.
Oh, yeah, I know. I go for it. That's what I figured. With this guy in the university thing down in the States doing an interview, he goes, so what does the name of your band mean? And I look at him and go, like, this is a fucking university, isn't it? Like, nouns don't have any meaning. It's a name, you know? And he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
then now he's all fucking weirded out. I mean, come on, man.
You didn't answer the question, and now I'm dead on the air.
That's the answer. I mean, no, come on. You're a university student, for fuck's sake.
You're smart enough. You can tie meanings to it, man. Like, come on.
No. I mean, I'm just fucking with the guy anyway. It means nothing. It's just a fucking...
It's a name. You gotta fuck with the guys, though.
It's kind of a random name, too. So it really means nothing, you know?
Fucking rights, man.
But lots of people put meaning into it, which is kind of fun. And it's got a bunch of cool things. One of the grooviest is that even if we tried to sell out, the only way you can sell out is if you're marketable, right?
And that's not a marketable name.
You could be used to sell other merchandise with like running shoes and shit like that.
Nike's not going to put abortions on their sneakers.
You could not sell condoms with fucking abortions in your name, you know, really. So it's like built-in safety thing. So the Dayglo Abortions will always be a street punk band, you know?
Fucking right. Through and through.
I've seen enough of the fucking bad industry that, fuck it, I don't want anything to do with it anyway.
Well, and that's another thing. Like, Dayglo still gets called out as legends in their music fucking genre by, like, guys who are doing the big tours, selling the big shows. But one thing I've noticed, too, going to these shows is, like, you see a big band and all of a sudden it's $70 for a t-shirt, you know? And then I get a Dayglo shirt, it's $20. I sell my shirts for my band at $20.
In all fairness, they've got overhead and they've got all of this shit.
I'm definitely not judging.
There's all kinds of people taking a cut of that $70 before the band ever sees it. And,
for sure.
We're doing it all ourselves. Like the shirts, some of the shirts we got Matt printed in the parking lot at Red Deer last night, you know, and pretty well. And I mean, he prints our shirts, and we do it as much as possible by ourselves. It's not like we're not like greedy or anything like that either.
And it's way too expensive to do.
Yeah, we just, running our budget and shit like that.
It is.
We just fucking, we do great. We get treated really good. We get all kinds of shit that none of these other bands get. You know, people fucking take us to their house, cook us home-cooked meals. We don't have to hide in hotels or any of that junk.
One of the last times that you guys came out to Calgary, you guys came to Emmy and Kuba's house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was living in the basement at the time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
but I was dealing with my own bookings, and I was like, I don't have time to go upstairs and say hi. And what am I going to say? Oh, I'm the basement guy. I love you guys' band. I got to go. You know, and then
No, we're always stay at friends' place and stuff like that as much as
We
possible.
don't cook forever.
oh, he's
Yeah,
one of the
Coop's fucking
greatest.
great
He's
guy,
one of
yeah.
the fucking greatest. He rescued me when I moved out for the first. He's like, yeah, you can stay on my couch for a bit, man.
Nice.
Cool,
Fucking
yeah.
rights, man. And
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's been a bro for a long time.
that's what it's all about. That's the community
Well, yeah,
stuff,
I mean,
though.
then going on tour, it's not even like touring all moment. Plus, the three of us get along pretty damn good, you know, so it's easy, no stress. You know, I know half of the people in the bar every night when we go in there.
Oh, and shout out to Blind Mark. He's chilling. He's not here with us, but Blind Mark is a champion of the fucking scene too. That guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys you could ever
He
actually,
really-
just for being just a good person. He's honest. He's fucking straight up. He doesn't bullshit you or anything like that.
And he's a fucking
Except when
sick
he's laying
drummer.
down the law.
Oh yeah, I know. They are trying to crack a joke. His fucking sense of humor is so weak. It's just like, oh, the poor guy. No, he's actually had some pretty gnarly jokes that I just like. Where the hell did that come from?
Bro,
for
you need
Christ's sake?
to go to. It's 5:30 in the morning. We are halfway to Montreal. You need to chill for a sec, Lark.
Well, actually, Mark knows how to get his stuff down. He takes care of himself. Pretty
Oh,
good.
fucking right. Me and Persley are really good buds. And
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah.
always talking. So we'll talk about, sometimes something comes up on Facebook about blind guys, and he'll be like, "Well, Lark just has his phone read it to him."
Yeah, that's right. He's a.
It's like,
Although it's kind of awkward because we get to hear all of the shit, you know,
All the
his
porn
girlfriend
stuff.
talking and everything.
Yeah,
And then
audio
the blind porn. Oh my God, that stuff's unbelievable, eh? He's in there, just you never know, and he's sitting there, and it's all, oh yeah, stuff it in there. Oh yeah, baby,
You ever heard
bring in the donkey or something
Ah!
like this, you know. And
You ever heard the sound of blind poop porn?
Yeah,
Holy
oh,
fuck.
God, yeah, and it's all sound effects.
that's a
too,
different
eh?
kind of ASMR.
Yeah.
That's too good. Well, you know what? I really appreciate you guys fucking coming on and doing this interview. I know you guys are always out and about, and I know you guys are always willing to do interviews too, but at the same time, just got
Sure.
back into doing shows, and like, it was really great to see you guys in Calgary a little while ago, and to see still fucking, I was following you on Facebook and saw the process of everything, and I was always really excited to read your posts about what was going on, because there was never a side picked, there was never any aggression. It was a very poignant statement about what was going on.
Well, I like stirring the pot a little bit too. I mean,
Yeah, but you know, that's
and I
just being
see-
on brand.
And plus, through the COVID shit, that's some of the worst behavior I've seen in my life. I mean, I'm looking at it going, God, if I was a kid, I don't think I'd be even getting into punk rock. Look at the way this, like, everybody's calling each other
Yeah.
Nazis and
Yeah.
fuck and all of this
And
shit.
I look at it now,
Yeah.
and like, I see it now that it's all closed off, people are still trying to use this as a piece of their identity, and it's like,
Yeah.
like, why? And so I did the same thing. I stuck with the music. If it wasn't involved with music, I didn't want to
Yeah.
hear about it. I don't care about politics. They're all bastards. Like,
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, that's more or less my view too. And I mean, this whole thing of the left and the right, the left versus the right, and everything like that. It's
left and right of what?
it's a divisory thing, really, of anything. You know,
Yeah.
there's obviously at one point you're looking at the tasks of the government. You're going to go, oh well, when it gets to Medicare and and infrastructure and shit. You know, obviously you're going to be more, you would want to be more socially minded and more left wing, if you want to call it that. And when it gets to something like a trade deal with a foreign country, you're probably going to want to be a little more protectionist and, and I mean, so you got to be able to go both ways. This whole, you look at what they've got in the States, it's a fucking nightmare, and, oh, they've just pretty well shat the bed so badly,
Oh,
it's
fuck
unbelievable.
yeah.
And they got themselves so hyper extended in war in 5 countries, going around the world fucking blowing everything up and shit like that, trying to blame Putin for it, and he's just like fucking calling their bluff every time they turn around. Not that he's an angel or anything like that, but he seems to know about what the fuck's going on and actually relates it to the people in Russia quite effectively. The guy's got more jam than any of the fucking leaders around here. They don't even know the topics. Like, I thought Singh was going to be a fucking guy, because he came out strong, dominant, carried on great conversations and debates. He knew all of the issues. He was willing to let people that were just like talking shit to him. He'd go, okay, well, have your bit, and he wouldn't lose his cool at all. I thought, God, I'd like to see that guy go up against Trump or something. It'd be awesome.
Oh, they would never allow him to.
But
It's not
what does he do? He
marketable.
goes and jumps in bed with fucking Trudeau and just like, and that whole thing, and that just beggars the mind, you know.
It does.
All of
That's
the
one more
fucking
reason.
double speak coming out of that shit, calling people Nazis and stuff. I mean, the closest thing to a Nazi going on was one of the guys had a fucking Confederate flag in his garage or something like that. Maybe he was a Hank Williams fan. I don't know, you know.
Pantera fan. There's
Whatever.
lots of
It takes a little more than a fucking Confederate flag. The only Nazi they had was some guy that was actually Trudeau's photographer, was following that one guy around, taking pictures. He was a fucking plant.
Cheers, Matt.
See you, Matt.
Thanks for jumping in, buddy. I appreciate it.
And you know, the whole thing, and if anything, he's calling them all, saying that it's an insurrection. Oh my God, it's an insurrection. What about the fucking your deputy prime minister and shit like this, who's actually taking orders from a group of people, you know, of these corporate fucking motherfuckers? We didn't vote for any of that shit, you know. I mean,
Well, and that's
God.
one thing I have to say too is like, you know, there's always going to be bullshit in fucking government.
There's
there always
bullshit,
has
but
been.
then there's this whole thing that's been going on for a long time, and it's the corporations, really, and the people that are at the tops of these corporations.
They're the ones who have the lobby groups to fucking change the
get
laws.
together in their little groups, and
They can change the laws. They can
You're right.
donate the money. They can gather.
You know,
We
you
all
see-
have to work.
It gets down to these things now. It seems to be these what do they call them? Hedge fund managers. They're these big investment fund guys like this BlackRock and fucking stuff
Vanguard
like that.
group.
Vanguard are the scary ones, eh?
They're the top
Because,
of the ladder.
well, yeah, because BlackRock is the biggest company on earth.
But Vanguard's still got everything
yeah,
above
but Vanguard's
BlackRock.
a public company, but Vanguard's a private company. You can't fucking buy stocks in that, and they are the biggest shareholder.
You don't get to know who's there.
Oh, you can find out a few of them, and you know, it's fucking funny who it is, eh? I couldn't believe it. Didn't take more than 5 minutes to find out that, yeah, one of the major players in there is fucking the Rothschild family, eh? And it's the Windsors, and it's all of the other black nobility families, and it's the fucking, that's what that group is. Then BlackRock is sort of more the no-foo rich corporate fucking guys. Bezos and all of them, Bill Gates and all of them are more on that side. And then
We gotta have a fucking like good hour, 2 hour long podcast about this, buddy.
oh, the political shit, yeah, it
Fucking right.
gets deep, eh? And you see, the thing is I used to work for this place called Defense Research Establishment Pacific. It's a military R&D lab, and I was a tech. I built gadgets for the scientists for 25 years. I was in there, and I had just about the highest security clearance you could have in the country because I had access to a secure computer system there, and we had trade fairs with the Americans. And the Americans would come to ours, and we'd go to theirs, and the Americans would come up. It would be all Raytheon, weapons manufacturers, McDonnell Douglas, companies like this, and they'd have these trade shows. So I got to watch all of these things that have become the modern conspiracy theories evolve, like the geoengineering shit, you know, with the HARP, like actually the guys
Cloud
that started, you know, the
seeding
HARP antenna array there up in Alaska. the first crew that went in and fired it up, came through our lab and got all conditioned. We actually had to take them out for lunch, these guys, and we go, first of all, we go, where do you guys want to go? Lots of good restaurants around here. It's Victoria. There's fucking good restaurants everywhere, eh? McDonald's, they wanted to go to. They're like, yeah, okay, well, me and Terry packed a lunch, eh? So we go to McDonald's with these guys, and we're eating our fucking lunch, watching them pray to a Big Mac, and then fucking starts making all these remarks. He goes, because there's a lot of natives around there. That's where the needle exchange is and all the inner city shit that's going on. And he goes, why is there all these natives around here? Like the head guy, and I go, well, because this is their land. I mean, this land is just leased off of them, really, for the, you know, and stuff like that. Hey, there's some, yeah, I mean, and there they live here, we live here. I grew up next to the res. What do you mean? Why is there natives here? For fuck's sake, everybody I know is a fucking native, you know. And
That's what
goes,
that's what the word means.
yeah, and he goes, don't you have reserves for them? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, there's two on Admiral's Road, you know, but they don't have to stay there. It's not like a prison or anything like that. I mean,
that's the difference between America and Canada.
They do there. I mean, I know a few natives down in the States. You don't see them the way you do here, eh? And there is no, like, they're way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere for the most part. Someplace like Salt Lake City is where I know a bunch of natives there, and they come into town. It's a weird place because it's all Mormon and shit like that. And Like, I'm trying. These guys, but that was the thing. These dudes were. They told us that the HARP antenna array was for submachine or for communication between the submarines. Eh? And they were going. It goes. We use super low frequency stuff at really high amplitude. He goes, at the same frequency range that the whales use to communicate with.
Just so you
And
know,
he goes,
if we fire it at the ground,
we're going to deafen all of the whales. And he's going, they won't hear a thing after we fire this thing up. And he thinks it's funny. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Even though that was all a lie.
yeah.
It's, I mean, not actually what it's used for at all. They started on, they do a bunch of things with it. There's like 5 or 6 of them on the planet. And
Yeah.
like the Saudis and shit, they've got a bunch of them over in the desert there. And you know, the Russians, the Chinese definitely got a couple of them too. And they do crazy shit. They can do, well, for one thing is if you put like aluminum particles up into the upper atmosphere there, like this nano aluminum shit, or they use a bunch of different things, beryllium and stuff. They spray that chaff out and it attracts water molecules. It gets water droplets.
That's the
on
cloud.
it,
That's the
condense
fucking
on it.
cloud seeder.
Then what they do is they take the HARP antenna array. It's this huge big field with I think 1,000
Antennas
it's a
in a
matrix of
square,
antennas.
all wired together.
Well, yeah. Well, they're wired in a matrix. Eh? So what they do is they do this thing called beam forming, and they've got their own nuclear power plant too to power the place. Eh? And they essentially at a specific frequency. They're going to put a beam that's going to shoot out, and it's acres wide. It's a huge, big thing of all of these, 1,024 of them that way by 1,024, and then of course the whole thing's filled in. So there's 65,000 some odd of these antennas, eh? And by changing the phase on the outside ones, they can focus the beam. So they can focus it down to like about a cubic meter, and they can put 3 terajoules of energy in a cubic meter anywhere above the earth or actually inside
and
the earth.
this is what I heard about it, is if they were to fire it down,
oh yeah, they could split the earth.
it would strum the layers of the earth like a fucking set of guitar strings.
Well, depending what the frequencies are, you make things resonate, and it's Tesla's fucking invention it was the weapon to end all wars.
The death ray. The Tesla death beam.
Yeah, and so, but what they're doing is first of all, they were just punching holes in the ionosphere and shit like this. Then they started doing the making rain thing, where they put the chaff in the clouds, like the floods down in Texas right now. Or where's it? It was in Las Vegas because of Lake Mead.
Yeah,
Lake Mead got real
was
low,
drying up.
and all of a sudden,
Flash
Lake
flood.
Mead gets 3 feet of water in one rain. 3 feet in the lake. Because what happens is they get all of this.
I
stuff.
watched a video of it.
You know those clouds. You know,
Yeah.
a cloud is like a lake floating in the sky. You know, lakes weigh a lot. You know, at a kilogram of fucking meter.
Hell yeah.
And so they got billions of tons of water up there, and they hit it with the fucking HARP
drops.
antenna array. Yeah,
And it shakes off those particles.
And they just hit it
drops.
hard enough, you know, just to get it
Shake
to
those particles where the water's stuck.
Yeah,
to.
unfortunately, it kind of tends to all come down at once, and it's pretty messy there.
Fucking
Those
right.
floods in the States were crazy, and that's, you know, that was just sort of hearsay picking out, but it reeks of the fucking antenna.
Oh, yeah, fucking right.
And-
Well, Murray, I fucking love talking to you. We got to set up the actual podcast, because
Yeah,
we
sure.
can
I
go
mean,
for hours on that podcast.
We could do it just from my place and your place.
Fucking right.
that.
And like
Yeah,
I said, I'll mail you out.
Okay, yeah. send me
Fuck some
stuff.
gear if you
I'll
need,
try and get.
man.
I mean, I'm almost at the end of this laptop. I'd probably get another one. I got a phone now too. I can do it
Fucking
with
right.
I
So you can
with
do it
my
off the phone too, man.
Yeah.
But from fucking the great legendary fucking Murray the Cretin Acton, and from Papa Trash, it's getting dark out now.
Yeah, it is. Probably have to go play soon too. I imagine.
Yeah. This has been.
9:45. I think I'm playing at.
I thank you so much for doing this interview. I really
Sure,
appreciate
no worries,
all
man.
your time, man.
No worries,
That
man.
interview was fucking fantastic, buddy. That's gonna get
I
posted
blab
with
a lot,
no
that's what I
edits
mean.
at all,
I
man.
couldn't stand hanging out with myself. Fucking
Fuck, I totally
over talker,
understand.
fucking blah blah. You know, and just I'd be like, who is this fucking asshole? There's gonna be the word in sideways. You know. You're
Fucking right. So
like,
hit that like button. Please drop a comment. Say hi to Murray, and hit that subscribe button, because we got more content coming to you guys. So Trash
yeah, you can
Talk,
check my shit out on Bandcamp.
Dayglo Abortions. Murray's got fucking custom solo shit on Bandcamp
Yeah, it's,
too.
Murray the Cretin.
So- Murray the Cretin at Bandcamp.com. Cheers, you guys. Cursed Earth Apparel and Print. And
Cheers to
apply
your,
within Audio Lethbridge. Cheers, guys.